Hi, this is Dave. What we're looking at today is a set of vertical blinds that no longer turns properly. So the individual blind slats won't turn. So be sure to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon for more content like this. Okay, on this vertical blind that won't turn, you can see the problem is actually located here. It's called the wand tilt mechanism. It's where the wand attaches and it turns all the blind slats. Okay, the wand tilt mechanism looks like this. You can see that there's a gear inside of there that turns the central gear in the blinds to turn the blind slats. So we're going to replace this part on the blind. You'll see some other videos that do this on YouTube, but those involve generally taking the whole blind down, taking it apart, and taking all the slats off. We're going to do this with the blind in place and just replace this one part. So stay tuned. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the wand from the blind tilt mechanism. Okay, now we have the wand removed, and you can see that there's one slat is actually attached to the mechanism with the wand tilt mechanism. We're going to have to remove this slat. In order to do that, all we're going to do is take something like a hotel key card and slide it up between the plastic and the slat, and then remove the slat. Okay, in order to do that, I'm going to have to put the camera down, so I'll show you once I've done that. Okay, now that wand slat from there is out. You may have to work that card in there gently a little bit without damaging your blind slat to get the tab out of the blind slat so you can remove the blind slat. Okay, the next thing we want to do is remove this mechanism, pull it this way out of the blind. In order to do that, we're going to have to remove this head rail, or the blocking the end cap there. There are two screws holding in. So I'm going to remove those two screws and take this off. Okay, I loosened the two screws and remove this. There's a plastic piece that you'll need to hold in place so you don't lose it. And now we have this piece off. Okay, now I've pulled the mechanism toward me, and you can see that there's a metal clip.
Notice here that the top on the wand tilt mechanism is not on securely. That may be part of the reason why it was not functioning correctly.
That is right here holding this on. So we're going to have to unclip that and then can remove the old wand tilt mechanism. Also, this piece, which is magnetic, is attached to the front. We'll remove that and we'll put it back on with the new one. Okay, I've removed the old wand tilt mechanism. Took a little bit of prying with needle nose pliers to remove the old wand tilt mechanism from this little bracket. But I got it out, and then I'll put the new one in. Okay, let me show you what I found out. This is the original wand tilt mechanism that was not working. And this is the replacement that I bought. The two are not exactly the same. You can see that the original one, hope you can see this, has two little plastic knobs sticking up here and here at the end that the metal bracket attaches to. The new one doesn't have those. Also, the little wheels are in slightly different positions, so it's just a different model. So my replacement is not going as I planned. But when I took a look at my original wand tilt mechanism, I realized this right here turns a little gear here. That turns a vertical gear here that's held in place here. And that turns this central gear right here. Those pieces were not aligned properly. I took this vertical piece out and this piece out and just put them back in. And now, when I turn the wand tilt mechanism that the wand turns, now the gear that turns the central gear is working. So what it looks like is that the part I have is the wrong one, but the original part is now working. So this isn't what I planned, but I'm now going to replace the original part back in and see if my blinds work.
Okay, I'm going to give you a slightly better view of what I repaired in the wand tilt mechanism. First thing was to open this top piece. The two plastic sides are holding it in. There's two little pieces that fit in there. So you have to kind of pry these plastic sides apart to get it out. Like that. And then this piece comes up. Now you can see that there's a vertical gear here. When I pull that out, it's difficult to pull out because right now it fits together well. Before it didn't fit together well. And this piece was seated up too high. Once you put this seat in properly, seated in the gear that's below here, you can get this piece seated in nice and low where it belongs, where it is resting against this. The hole in the top piece will hold this gear in place, so it's up against this one. All you have to do is make sure that they're seated in there properly, that they're not too high up. And then one gear turns the other. Okay. Make sure they're in.
Now I'm just going to reverse the process. I'm going to put that blind mechanism and the little magnetic piece back on and attach the metal clip to it. And then we'll do the next step. As you can see, I put the blind tilt mechanism back on. A little bit of the plastic piece broke off on the far side, but this one is intact. So it looks like it's going to work. And then this little piece is going to go back on there. And we'll put it back and we'll replace that end piece. Okay, and this piece is going to go back on just exactly as it came off. And we will tighten it with a Phillips screwdriver. So I found the best way to do this is to make sure these two Phillips screws are seated into the plastic piece, and then get the central gear fully seated into the hole, and then position the end piece, and then you can tighten it. Putting the end cap on can be a little bit tricky because when you screw these screws in, you don't want to put too much downward pressure on the blinds as they're mounted. So what I did is I tightened these down first, then I tried to mount it and I just backed them off until I could mount this thing. And then I put it in, and now I'm going to tighten them down. Okay, I've attached the end cap, and as you can see, I've put the wand back on. I didn't fully seat it, I just put it on to test it. So right now I'm going to test it. And as you can see, it's now working. So next, I just need to fully seat my wand, attach my remaining piece here, the slat, and then replace my valance that just snaps right into place, and we'll be done. So the blinds are fixed, even though it wasn't exactly how I had planned. So best of luck on your projects. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.